Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Links are in the description below. Please show some love of the author and me. On to the show. In fact, this is also the reason why Zian doesn't know much about evolutionists. The evolutionists I know are the Master, Songyu's Master and Apprentice, and Shoin. Their real contact has only been in the past 6 months. He didn't know the progress and difficulties of the evolutionist group. Don't even know. He himself is purely against the sky. Still a little depressed. It was so smooth when I evolved the reconnaissance ship by myself, and it was so easy to improve the red excellent quality. How come the evolution of the frigate and the improvement of the perfect quality of pink are so difficult? I once doubted my own talent. Looking at Zian's slightly frustrated expression, Elder Xia and the other elders exchanged glances. They all fell silent. But judging from the degree of twitching at the corners of their mouths, my heart is not silent at all. The key is, with their mature eyes, one can tell at a glance that Zian is sincerely talking about this matter. Not showing off. This is the most outrageous thing. One of the serious-looking old men turned his head and asked with a strange expression, "Now can you improve the quality of parts to pink perfection?" Although I don't know who the old man in front of me is. But if I want to be able to stand with the Master, I am afraid that it is a certain evolutionary 463 Master, or a super strong person. Hastily nodded respectfully and replied, "Yes. But the quality of slightly larger and more precise parts cannot be improved to pink perfection. And those parts that can be upgraded to pink perfect quality, the probability of each upgrade is no more than 50%, and they often fail." Zian was helpless. Little did they know that the eyes of Mr. Xia and the other elders had changed. One of the old men, who looked like a smiling Buddha, waved his hand and said, "It's useless to talk. Come on, let's go and try it now." Although the evolution simulation of this virtual metaverse is still a bit different from reality, but it can also simulate a 78%. You cover it up for us on the spot, and see how the parts you mentioned are upgraded to the perfect quality of pink. But I only give you 3 chances. Zian thought it was these old men who wanted to guide him on the spot. Hearing this, he immediately nodded in surprise. Okay. But we're going to," he said and looked at the Master. Xia Donglu said without hesitation, "Listen to him. Let's go, there is an evolution simulation factory next to it, just go there." Xia Donglu also wanted to see it very much. My new apprentice. Talent, how terrifying is it? As for bragging, not only him. None of the old men around him thought so. No matter how stupid you are, you won't brag about your life in front of him. Because whether it's bragging or not, we'll find out later. It was not just his face that was lost, but also the face of his master, Xia Donglu. In the hall itself, Xia Donglu, Zian and the others were the center of attention. Seeing them walking towards the side one after another, everyone couldn't help but feel confused. Senior brother Zhang Yuanhai couldn't help but ask, "Master, what are you?" The old man with a Buddha-like smile immediately pointed at Zian and said with a smile, "Yuanhai. We old guys want to see your junior brother's level on the spot. How about it? Come over and have a look together?" Upon hearing this, everyone present immediately became excited. Among the people present, only the 2 vice presidents Jin Shanchuan, Xiong'an, and Sun System had seen Zian's awesomeness. The rest of the people had never seen it with their own eyes, but only heard about how outstanding Zian's talent was. Now that Zian was going to give a live demonstration, naturally everyone became interested and followed him one after another. Zian didn't care either. There are many people but few people, and it has no effect on him at all. He is very happy now. Because of the evolution of perfect quality, he has been troubled for a long time. Now it seems that not only can I get the Master's teachings and receive the goods, but these Master's inventions. As long as you ask yourself, are they embarrassed not to give you guidance? Zian chuckled in his heart. Next to the lobby, it is a huge evolution factory. The advantage of the virtual metaverse is that everything is virtual. So, here, evolve whatever you want to evolve. You go ahead and don't worry about us. Master Xiao Donglu touched Su Zian's head lovingly. Don't be pressured, just perform to your best. Su Zian was puzzled. Pressure? Why is this so stressful? Ask a question, why are you still stressed? Too lazy to think too much, he nodded heavily and walked over. There were dozens or hundreds of people around, watching intently. Come to the virtual panel of the evolution factory. Su Zian chose a component that he had evolved before, but had the highest success rate of only half. A balance. As mentioned before, the function of the balancer is to confirm the ecliptic plane of the universe and allow the starship to maintain a plane flight. This kind of thing, to be honest, does not have much technical content. But even so, Su Zian's success rate in evolving it to pink perfection is still only about 50%. You can imagine how frustrated he is. Don't think too much. A balancer was selected, and the balancer selected was a green and high-quality balancer. Su Zian thought about it. Since you want to ask for advice, you have to start from the beginning. Only by starting from the beginning can master and the others see clearly. And this balancer is the same model as the one on my brilliant one. So I want the masters and others to see from the beginning how they have evolved from green excellence to red excellence. Then, with an almost 100% success rate, why does the failure rate of evolving pink perfect quality be so high? Selected. Quality improvement started immediately. It's here, any material needed can appear in an instant. Here, evolution does not need evolution value, of course. Su Zian is already familiar with the evolution of red excellence and previous quality. No need to think too much at all. Pieces of different metals and materials began to be put into the balancer, allowing them to be absorbed and fused. The weight and weight are different. The order of fusion absorption also varies. Beside, everyone who saw Su Zian's coherent operation nodded. Those present, except for those super strong people who are not evolutionists, the rest are evolutionists. The worst are all three qualities. Su Zian's level can be seen at a glance. This is how it works and how proficient it is. There are also ideas of evolution. All kinds of whimsical ways of evolution. It is worthy of the title of Bright Monster. Evolution Zero. It's never set in stone. Even with the same evolution focus, there are as many as hundreds of thousands of materials. For example, to improve the quality of a main gun is mainly to improve its penetration history. Then there are often hundreds of thousands of materials that can be selected. The universe is so big, there are too many materials, too many different metals. Natural, synthetic, compound. Too much can be used for evolution. There is a clear statement in the circle of evolutionists. Everything can evolve. What I said is not that everything can be evolved, but that everything can be used for evolution. Different substances, different attributes, evolved things are different. An evolutionist really needs profound knowledge and super talent. Otherwise, if you can't remember the metal material alone, how can you be an evolutionist? Evolved step by step. Half an hour later. The balance meter has steadily entered the blue rare quality. Another half hour. Steadily promoted to red excellent quality. It's just under an hour. So steady. Everyone was full of amazement. But when most people thought Su Zian was going to end, then I saw that besides Zian, he was still choosing materials and metals. At this moment, these people all stared wide-eyed, and a trace of inconceivable color flashed in their eyes. Su Zian, is this going to continue? No, Su Zian can evolve pink perfect quality now? Shocked. Even if it is as calm as the big brother Zhang Yuanhai. There are also 3 other brothers and sisters from Su Zian. And Chen Shanchuan, Xiong'an, who knew how talented Su Zian was. At this moment, he couldn't help but look shocked. At their level, they deeply understand what the perfect quality of pink represents. A rank 1 evolutionist. If it is possible to evolve pink parts with perfect quality, what else can it represent? No. It shouldn't be so outrageous. Even if there are 1,010,004.4 in my heart, I don't believe it. But when Zian integrated the materials one by one, the balancer removes the impurities after the first step, and when the quality steadily increases. They were stunned, dumbfounded faces. Even if it's Mr. Xia and those old men. At this moment, he watched in astonishment. I thought Zian would fail once or twice. But now it seems. Will it succeed once? Moreover, is it still evolving steadily from fine quality to pink perfect quality? Halfway. Nothing went wrong? About 50 minutes later, when a pink light flashed on the balance instrument. Its specific quality and data are directly displayed virtually on the balancer. The audience was so quiet that a needle could be heard. They all stared blankly at the balance meter data displayed in the virtual metaverse, speechless for a long time. Chung succeeded. Next moment. Those old men beside Mr. Xia. One by one, the eyes suddenly burst into dazzling light. It was like searchlights shining on Zian. That look. Like an idiot seeing a stunning beauty, such as a foodie seeing a full feast of man and han. That's a glutton. The serious old man coughed lightly and said to Xia Donglu, well, Lao Xia, let's discuss something. When Mr. Xia heard this, he shook his head as if he had taken medicine. No discussion, don't even think about it. The serious old man touched his nose awkwardly, then what? Look at you, among your disciples, which one is not a member of the evolutionary master lineage? You should be content. Then if you look at me again, I'm so old, right? Just treat me as pitiful, okay? The serious old man hasn't finished speaking yet. Mr. Xia started to complain directly, Old Ching, you can go aside and have a rest. Don't even think about this. How can any of the disciples I accept be given to you? Impossible, absolutely impossible. The serious old man was helpless. He could only stare at Zian and swallow his saliva. Another tall old man also coughed lightly and said, Lao Xia. Mr. Xia glanced at him, what's the matter, are you thinking about this good thing? I'm telling you, stop dreaming. The tall old man quickly apologized and smiled, no, I definitely can't steal your apprentice, this is definitely not fair. After a pause, he said in a leisurely tone, but, you don't think you mind him having another master, do you? If that doesn't work, I can be his mentor. You are his master, and I am his mentor. Mr. Xia was so angry that his beard stood up, do you think I'm stupid? Isn't a mentor the master, and isn't the master the mentor? Go, let me tell you, don't think about this 02 thing. After saying that, he stopped listening to them. He smiled at Zian and said, Zian. Not bad, very good. I didn't expect that you, so young, would be able to evolve your quality to pink perfection. This is really beyond my expectation. Didn't you say before that you didn't understand something? Come, ask, I'll talk to you. Zian nodded quickly and asked all the problems he encountered during the evolution process. At first, Mr. Xia could still answer Zian's questions casually. But later, Mr. Xia had to think about some of Zian's questions before he could give an answer. Even down to the last few questions, Elder Xia and the other elders all need to discuss a few times. Disagreement will also lead to some disputes, and finally give Zian some answers. You can see the people around you looking at each other. Most of the people present were from the circle of evolutionists, and a very high-level evolver. But for some of Zian's problems, they will all get some inspiration from it. For example, Chen Shanchuan, Xiong'an, the two vice presidents. Good guy. I immediately started recording with my eyes gleaming. Recorded the questions Zian asked and Mr. Xia's answers. For a moment, it was like finding a treasure. This kind of opportunity to be answered by Mr. Xia and these old men at the same time is definitely not many. And Zian obviously understands this. Although he is an old disciple of Xia. But Mr. Xia is too busy. Take advantage of this opportunity now. He almost threw out all the problems he encountered. To know. What problems did Zian encounter? Those are all questions that have been carefully pointed out by the system, and then they have not fully understood the meaning. That is a problem that has not been fully understood after the system has been taught. Can this kind of problem be solved easily? This is not. When Zian asked the last question about the perfect quality of the evolution, frigate Dao, Mr. Xia was stunned. I frowned and thought for a long time, but didn't come up with it. I discussed it with several old men for a long time, and the arguments turned red. As a result, several old men's faces turned red. Elder Xia even coughed lightly, and said, "This question, I will give you an answer after I go back and study carefully." Everyone present was stunned. This is Mr. Xia. The evolution of frigates and the improvement of perfect quality have all been stumped. No, it's not that I'm stumped. As an evolutionist, the knowledge contained in it is as vast as this universe. Who dares to say that every level of starship evolution is completely understood? Zian now goes to evolve the reconnaissance ship, as well as the red superior quality reconnaissance ship. He had it at his fingertips. But he never dared to say that he was so angry at the evolution of the scout ship. He is still far away. In other words, in this world, no matter how powerful an evolutionist is, there is no guarantee that he will understand all the problems encountered when the scout ship evolves. There are hundreds of thousands or even millions of materials that can be used for just one component. The combination and matching are even more like geometric figures. Who can understand it? Cannot. Zian cannot. Mr. Xia couldn't. No one can. Therefore, what Zian raised was a problem encountered in the evolution of frigates. It's normal for Mr. Xia to be unable to give an accurate answer for a while. It only takes a little research and you can make it. This is the real difference between low-level evolutionists and high-level evolutionists. Low-level evolutionists just can't understand it. A high-level evolutionist can't figure it out for the moment, but Dao can figure it out after some research. Zian was not surprised either. It's just that he smacked his tongue a little bit. Many problems that have troubled him for many days. In Xiao Lao's answer, basically everything has been solved. Seriously. The systematic teaching is very powerful, and a complete set of explanations can be given for any problem. However, the system is only for teaching. Just pointing out what is wrong with you, because of what is wrong, and then telling you what is the best way to evolve. But it won't tell you what materials should be used to evolve. For example, there are too many kinds of the same high-toughness metal material. The system will only tell you that this part requires a high-toughness metal material. But the high ductility metal material properties are all different. If the toughness is too low, it will not work. If the toughness is too high, it will not work. The toughness fits, but it still doesn't work if it conflicts with other metal materials. The toughness fits, but the rigidity is not enough, still not good. Anyway, today's teaching made Zian realize a lot. Mr. Xia's teaching is to directly point out the problem, and then directly point out what metal material to use and why to use this metal material. This is the difference between Mr. Xia and the system. Master Xia's teachings and systematic teaching. Zian believes that both are indispensable. After asking all the questions that bothered him, Zian was still a little unsatisfied. But today I came to pay homage to the teacher. We must not continue to waste everyone's time. If you don't understand something, just ask the master later. Master is busy, so leave a message. The same is true. Subsequent apprenticeships went smoothly. Zian also knew who these old men were. Several of them are actually Master's senior brothers. That is, my uncle. The others. Master did not say their identities. But I think it should be some big bosses. On the contrary, Zian is very curious about his master's master, that is, his own ancestor. Master is so powerful. Then his master ancestor is obviously a big shot. But Mr. Xia said that he hadn't seen his master for more than 800 years. Either doing research or wandering the universe. Every day, the dragon sees the head but does not see the end. Zian didn't ask too much. Anyway, he thought, what the master should tell me, I will tell myself. If you didn't tell yourself, it means that you are not qualified to know now. He doesn't care either. The current self, knowing so much, is really useless. Only the captain of the reconnaissance ship, and only the first-rank evolutionist. What's the use of knowing so much? Thanks to the 923 division, the final promotion is over. Zian, in a real sense, became the 5th personal disciple of Mr. Xia, even if nothing unexpected. It will also be a close disciple. There will be no more disciples in the future. We are all busy people. I have gathered here for more than 10 hours, and I need to get busy. Before leaving, Zian joined many people's communications, including those uncles. The rest of the bosses were not added. The main additions are those of the same generation or the younger generation. But even the younger ones. Also people like Chen Shanchuan and Xiumin. One of his peers, that is, his senior uncle, the apprentice of that tall old man, is also his senior brother. The principal of Dawn Starship Academy. Yes. He is actually the principal of Qin Fuyue School. It's my brother now. Zian felt dizzy in his head. Master. Only then did I know the people in Master's circle. What kind of bosses are they? Their communication methods have been added. Of course, the friends of my own brothers and sisters will not fail to join. Their attitude towards themselves is undoubtedly a little closer. It's just that everyone is really too busy. Make an appointment to send messages and chat when you have time, and find them after you have any difficulties. They all dispersed. When Zian exited the virtual universe and his consciousness returned to reality, there is also a sense of unreality. The people in Master's circle are all too awesome. He seemed weak and helpless. Good thing. Just started myself. He made a fist. You can't hold back Master and the others. There are still a few days until the official start of school. Then take advantage of these few days. To do the task, maybe you can kill a few pirates, then get together to evolve the starship to the 7th level. That is, the evolution value of advanced reconnaissance ships. Only a few days left. Zian will definitely not use the number of cruiser berms. The number of berms can last for a month at a time. It's stupid to use it at this time. But it's definitely not enough to go out alone. But that's okay. A short escort mission is acceptable. Because the Shenzhou star system is extremely prosperous. It belongs to the super prosperous galaxy. Many large enterprises and large groups have set up branches here. The population is also very large, so the business is extremely prosperous. The bustling business has spawned caravans that come from different places every day. With so many caravans, a large number of interstellar pirates have naturally been born. In fact, the reason why interstellar pirates are endlessly killed and destroyed. The main reason is that the scope of the universe is too vast, making it extremely easy to escape and hide. There is no such thing as a blanket or blanket campaign. Encircle and suppress pirates. The probability of pirates escaping is as high as 95%. Coupled with the explosion of population expansion, even a small number of unscrupulous people choose to become interstellar pirates. That's a pretty scary number too. And needless to say, interstellar pirates is a really easy job. A normal biological captain wants to get rich and increase his strength quickly. Either suppress bandits or go to the battlefield. Restricted by the law, you must not do anything to people casually. Star pirates is different. They hit whoever they want. Run after finishing one vote. Wait for the consumption to continue to the next vote. It is absolutely impossible for the cosmic interstellar era to wipe out a large number of or even completely wipe out interstellar pirates. Coupled with the prosperity of the Chinese star system, countless caravans come from all directions of the ecliptic plane, front, back, left, right, up and down, etc. every day. The missions that lead to hunting pirates and escorting them are also surprisingly numerous. What Zian is going to take is the short-distance escort mission. The kind that is no more than 20 light-years away. Now the brand-new Brilliance has reached the limit of 79.9 meters. Without refueling, the farthest limit distance has reached 60 light-years. 20 light-years away, there was enough time, and it did not exceed the sailing limit of the Brilliant, just right. That night, lying in the bedroom on the second floor of hundreds of square meters, enjoying the halo slowly shining from the 3 planets outside the composite one-way glass ceiling. Browse the school assignments. Lodging stars, no satellites. Those 3 planets are also 3 other planets. All were developed into habitable planets. And they are all extremely prosperous. Because the distance is not very far. You can even vaguely see the lights of thousands of families on the 3 planets. The colorful neon lights are full of prosperity. This is a scene that can never be seen on Earth. The school's tasks are open and accessible throughout the year. After just browsing for a while, Zian directly cancelled his plan to accept the task from school. Although accepting tasks from school, you will get points, rewards. But there are also limitations. For example, students at the reconnaissance ship level must form a team or join a team and receive tasks as a team. This is also because the school ran out alone to die in order to prevent the students from getting overwhelmed, for the sake of evolution and points. But when it comes to the assault ship level, there is no such restriction. There are also many teams of classmates. But Zian was reluctant to join in. To join a team, one must obey the instructions and orders of the captain. The enemy's biological starships are limited. Zian doesn't think that these strange students will kindly give up the biological starships to him to kill. And for those little points, it's a waste of time. Talk about it. At present, it is more appropriate to continue to receive tasks from the Star Hunters Guild. Immediately shut down the school's mission website. Open the Star Hunter Guild website. Glanced. Sure enough, there are quite a lot of tasks. Filter directly. Enter several keywords such as 20 light-year short distance, escort, and reconnaissance ship. Soon there were a large number of escort missions. There are caravan escorts. There are also escorts. Reward. Zian ignores it directly. After choosing, Zian locked on the task of escorting a caravan of a Star Crystal Optical Brain Production Company. Choosing the escort mission of this caravan is also elegant. The Star Crystal Optical Brain of this company is very small in the universe, and it belongs to the very low-end kind, but it also has certain value. But it is far from reaching the caravans of mining companies, material companies, and parts companies. So these Star Crystal light brains will attract the kind of small interstellar pirates, large and powerful interstellar pirates, but they don't like these things. Not to mention attacking such a caravan, it would also pose a risk of exposure. In this way, it is possible to encounter the enemy again, and the probability will not be too dangerous. Just right. Of course there are exceptions. For example, the whole process is safe and will not encounter pirates. There are many such cases, and there are many interstellar pirates, but the caravans that are attacked each year actually only account for 10% of all caravans. Or even less. If all caravans will be attacked, then these interstellar pirates may all be brought down by the Federation. How is it possible? If there is another accident, that big pirate group will attack at will. The probability is very small. Once you encounter it, just run away. The task is selected. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, we will gather from the cargo star port of Yachi Star on time. The escort is for 3 days. Sent to the Tainan star system, 1,600 yuan a day. Time is absolutely fine. sleep with eyes closed. I don't know if it's because of moving to a new house, or because the living environment here is too good. When I wake up, I feel refreshed, as if I have endless energy. Put on the popular space armor and equip the three-piece suit. Go now. Yaoqi Star is the third most prosperous planet in the Chinese star system. Drive the Brilliant to the cargo port. It can be seen that giant cargo spaceships with a length of several kilometers and tens of thousands of meters are constantly entering and leaving. The cargo spaceship must be big. Not only does it require a very long voyage distance, but it also requires a very large cargo capacity. The price of a huge cargo spaceship tens of thousands of meters is even as high as tens of billions. Even bigger ones, hundreds of billions of them, are not unavailable. With such a high-value spaceship, it will be a long time to feel distressed if one is killed by pirates. So even these cargo spacecraft have their own dedicated escort team. However, a large number of external starship escorts will still be hired. What Zian is escorting today is the product of Intel Group. The Star Crystal optical computer produced by Intel. Intel Corporation is also a company that has existed for hundreds of thousands of years. In the 21st century, it seems that the company that produced computer chips was the world's top chip production group at that time, but in the interstellar era, turned into the lowest-end Star Crystal optical brain group. Come to port. The two 10,000-meter cargo spacecraft painted with the Intel Group logo have been launched and are waiting to depart. Around it, there are more than a dozen starships suspended to protect it. The most powerful of these is an assault ship. The rest are reconnaissance ships and frigates. Of these starships, a small number are biological starships, and most of them are mechanical starships. All sprayed with Intel Group's logo. Obviously it is Intel Group's own frigate. Besides, there are more than a dozen starships of various kinds beside them. Most of them are frigates, and some are reconnaissance ships. But all are biological starships. Very few mechanical starships come out to do missions, almost none. Mechanical starship captains usually join the Federal Army, or join a certain group company to serve as the escort fleet or something. Although the arrival of the Brilliant has attracted some people's attention, that's all. Identity information confirmed. Waited for a while. After collecting a total of 18 external starships, the caravan officially set sail. At the same time, the caravan also sent the sailing route to the star map of each warship. Just follow this route. Good money. Zian did not speak the whole time. On the contrary, the name of his starship, Mi County, caught the attention of several people. But they just repeated it in surprise, and no one asked. In the universe, there are not too many starships with the same name. They didn't think that the Brilliant ship was the famous national #1 scholar. Besides, under preconceived notions, how precious is the #1 scholar in the country? How can you come to do this kind of task with them that only costs more than 1,000 yuan a day? Stop it. And Zian is also happy to relax. He just took advantage of this time to digest the content of the master's teaching. Try to evolve a frigate of perfect quality in one fell swoop when the candy reaches the evolution frigate. As for this escort, anyway, it's based on luck. It would be nice to encounter a small interstellar pirate attack. It's not a loss if you don't meet it, but Zian felt that his luck should not be so bad. It is best to meet. Thus, the official opening day. The Brilliant will also truly enter the ranks of high-level reconnaissance ships. In freshmen. Not to mention that the starship rank is absolutely #1. But definitely the first series. The Tainan star system is located directly below the Shenzhou star system. The entire caravan flew downwards. But in the universe, there is no up, down, left or right at all. When the starship has its own gravity, either side is the front. The caravan has been flying for 2 full days. It is a full 16 light-years away from the Chinese star system. Because the cargo spacecraft travels slowly, its flight speed and pulse jump distance are definitely not comparable to those of starships specially used for combat. And every time the pulse jumps a certain distance, it needs to cool down for about an hour. Zian looked at the study materials in the optical computer watch with some boredom. These study materials were given to him after he chose the 3 Star Wars courses. It wasn't until he read these materials that Zian realized that there were actually many more things he had to learn. Let's put it that way. If he learned the combat skills by himself from the life and death fight in the Star Wars simulation, it can be compared to a warrior who is born with divine power. So what is taught in school? It just tells you how to make perfect use of your natural divine power. Use 4 ounces to move 1,000 pounds to obtain more powerful combat skills. Zian is very lucky. Even though he obtained the system, he resolutely chose to join the college to continue his studies. It's not because after acquiring the system, he became arrogant and thought that he would be invincible with the system. Now I know that his previous idea was completely wrong. Yes. A life and death fight in Star Wars simulation, coupled with systematic combat teaching. It is indeed quite powerful, there is no denying this. But similarly, the combat experience accumulated by the cosmic humans over countless years is not inferior to systematic teaching. Just like the evolutionist 263. Systematic teaching and Xiao Lao's teaching are advancing simultaneously, and Zian will only grow faster. There will be no obvious shortcomings. The same way, Star Wars simulation and system teaching, coupled with the teaching of China University, which ranks first in Star Wars strength, Zian's Star Wars abilities, it will only become more and more exquisite and powerful. The two complement each other. Continue to devote yourself to learning with gusto and try your best to absorb all useful knowledge. The brilliance flies on its own according to the route. For 2 full days, the entire fleet was very silent. Not even a single word of communication came through the communicator. Everyone seemed very quiet and silent. In fact, this is the real interstellar voyage, and boring are the themes. Fortunately, Zian has always been a person who can endure loneliness. Watch and watch. Zian couldn't help but sigh again. One day we will arrive in the Tainan star system. It seems that my wish to gain evolution points in these few days may be in vain. DDDD. Unknown target detected. Unknown target detected. The target information has not been confirmed by the Federation. There is a 99.99% probability that it is an enemy starship. Please prepare for defense and combat. The Zian series star crystal optical brain, which has evolved to red excellence in quality, now possesses extremely high intelligent capabilities. The moment the Brilliance's detection radar scanned the enemy, it issued an early warning sound. Zian was shocked immediately. But before he could report the situation, the biological assault ship of the caravan escort fleet took the lead in issuing a warning. Enemy attack. Enemy attack. Prepare to fight. A hoarse man's voice suddenly came out from the communicator, and the captains who were aboard instantly trembled. Those biological captains are excited. Because most of them came for the evolution value. There are not many people who really want to earn 1,000 or 2,000 yuan a day. They can still run away if they can't fight. Although the reputation points of the Interstellar Hunter Guild will be reduced rapidly, they are at least stronger than Galen. Of course, no one would choose to escape until the last moment. Zian didn't care about them. The moment the Brilliance issued a warning, his instinctive reaction, honed over many years of Star Wars simulated battlefields, allowed him to respond immediately. Thoughts swept away. The mental power was instantly integrated with the Brilliance. This moment. The display target of the Tsuetsan detection radar will be displayed directly in his mind, and there is no need to watch the detection results of the holographic image. At the same time, the main gun, secondary gun, and anti-aircraft gun were turned on instantly, and then under the control of Zian's mind, he aimed the muzzle at the target direction scanned by the detection radar in his mind in the blink of an eye. Without further ado, they didn't even see clearly who the enemy was or what kind of starship the enemy ship was. Just on target. Just start with the main gun and the auxiliary gun, and then let's blast it with a few thousand cannons. At the same time, when the main gun and the auxiliary gun are bombarded, Zian synchronized his hands to maximize the power of the Starship's 4 Voyage Series 4X hyperlight engines. The Brilliance, which was originally operating at quasi-light speed, entered the state of light speed in the blink of an eye. At this speed, even Zian could not attack the enemy, but the probability of the enemy hitting him is extremely low. The purpose of this is simple. Enter the speed of light state and look at the enemies on the opposite side. If very powerful, that's nothing to say. Escape directly at the speed of light. Regardless of whether you have professional ethics or not, life is the most important thing. If you still talk about professional ethics when your life is gone, you are mentally ill. If the opponent is a rookie, it is possible that he can beat him. Not to mention speed of light to steal monsters. Talk slowly, actually. The moment the Brilliance discovered the enemy ship, Zian made this series of super-fast reactions. When the Brilliance fired those dozens of cannons and entered the state of light speed navigation, even the warning sound of the assault ship captain had just fallen. The captain of the assault ship even just turned the starship's cannon around. Brilliant. A series of terrorist operations have been completed. As for the remaining starships, he hasn't even reacted yet. From here, you can see the huge gap. This is the unprecedented gap and value between the #1 scholar in the country and ordinary people. The perks of being tortured for so many days in a Star Wars simulation. Also at this moment. Expressed vividly. Boom boom boom. While the cannonballs were hitting the starship they were aiming at, Zian also saw clearly the enemy's situation at this time. Immediately happy. It is a frigate with a maximum of only 1. The remaining 11 ultra-small interstellar pirate groups are all biological reconnaissance ships and mechanical reconnaissance ships. As soon as he saw their strength clearly, Zian understood what happened. It wasn't that they were attacked or ambushed by interstellar pirates. But this interstellar pirate is just too unlucky. Who would have thought that their caravan happened to be taking this route? There are countless routes in the universe. Moreover, the routes are not fixed, and most of them are decided by themselves. Who knew it was such a coincidence that I bumped into them? The key to bad luck is that if this section of the road was passed by a pulse jump, then there would be no encounter. And it just so happened that the pulse transition jumped to this area. That's no wonder. If God wants you to die, you must die. Anyway, Zian's eyes were already red. The brilliant horn is like a hungry and dizzy tiger. As a reconnaissance ship, he jumped towards the opponent with unparalleled bravery. That posture was like a reconnaissance ship, giving off the aura of a cruiser. It looked like both camps were stunned. This reconnaissance ship. What the hell is this? Doesn't he know that he is just a scout ship? The pirate frigate that was about to turn around and run away suddenly became angry. Yes, if we can't defeat you, then we'll run away. But how dare you rush up to a mere reconnaissance ship, while the assault ship and those frigates didn't even move? Is it too insulting to pirates? He raised his head and glanced at the other side. Seeing that the other person hadn't rushed over yet, he immediately decided to work. Let's not run away for now. Kill this arrogant scout ship first and then run away. Everyone, focus your fire and kill this reconnaissance ship, then everyone disperses and evacuates. Gather at the B7 hiding spot. The leader of this pirate group ordered angrily. Yes. Receive. Kill this scout ship. Too arrogant, everyone is on fire. Angry curses sounded in the pirates' communicators. Next second, cannonballs were fired one after another, like a barrage, towards the Brilliance. But he didn't know it. In the cockpit of the Brilliance, Zian saw that none of the pirates ran away. He smiled so hard that his throat could be seen clearly. This is no longer a pirate, this is a bunch of good people, damn it. What are you doing? Brilliant, come back quickly. Are you looking for death? Why did you rush up alone? Quickly dodge. Be careful. Even if you want evolution points, you have to get it from us. In your own communicator. There were endless exclamations and reprimands. They were scolded and scolded, but they still responded immediately. I'm about to come forward and help. Result. Next second. Their yelling stopped abruptly. They came to a sudden stop. Then one by one stayed in place dumbfounded, watching the scout ship make strange and horrifying movements. See you. In the rain of bullets all over the sky. The reconnaissance ship was like an elf walking in the rain, but it didn't even get wet. In the blink of an eye, he used all kinds of extremely tricky postures to dodge these attacks. While avoiding, a series of shells were fired continuously. Different from the enemy. Every shell fired by the reconnaissance ship hit the opposite side with precision. And the accuracy is outrageously accurate. Only 5 main guns. A hole was torn open in the energy shield of the frigate opposite. At this time, the frigate on the opposite side seemed to have finally sensed that something was wrong, and wanted to turn around and run away. At the same time, make maneuvers to avoid attacks. But it seems to be useless. No matter how he evades, the opponent's shells can always accurately predict the direction and range of his evasion. The 6th main gun. Boom. The cockpit of the frigate was completely torn open, followed by dozens of high-explosive warheads of secondary guns. Flames and roar instantly filled the entire cockpit. The frigate, which was making various maneuvers, trembled, and then stopped moving. On the other hand, the brilliant number. After killing the frigate, the mood seems to be even more excited. These pirates were not stupid either. After seeing the terror of the scout ship beyond their comprehension, they knew that there was nothing they could do. They frantically scattered and fled to the side. How could the excited Zian let them go? Those mechanical starships didn't even bother to take a look, just stare at the remaining 3 biological starships. There are also 3 biological reconnaissance ships. According to the results displayed by the detection radar. 1 is for beginners, 1 is for intermediate, and 1 is for advanced. Enough evolution value. Just kill them all. The quality translational evolution to level 7 is just enough. So much evolutionary value. In fact, it is enough for a tier 6 reconnaissance ship of ordinary quality, and it has been upgraded to tier 7 twice. But there is no way. The strength brought by the excellent quality of red requires more evolutionary value. And the following scene also really confirmed how powerful the red and excellent quality of the bright number is. In order to prevent any of these starships from running away, Zian simply ignored the attacks of some cannonballs. Just open the shield and rush over. After all, dodging takes a certain amount of time. With the red excellent quality engine running at maximum power, the kinetic energy of the instant rapid acceleration easily caught up with one of the ships, and then fired a few shots. What surprised Zian was, this intermediate reconnaissance ship actually has a lot of evolution value reserves. The energy shield in front of his cockpit was easily torn apart by just 1 main gun shell, and the defense of the cockpit was also easily torn apart, just when the secondary gun that followed was about to hit it. The pirate captain immediately used the evolution value to make instant repairs. The high-explosive warhead of the secondary gun exploded outside the cockpit, which was repaired instantly. The warhead of the secondary gun is powerful, but its penetration is quite low. A series of explosions came down. But it didn't even break the glass of the other party's cockpit. Zian frowned. See the opportunity quickly. Another continuous round of main guns and dozens of rounds of secondary guns were fired. Then without looking back, he went to chase another pirate's reconnaissance ship. If this person still has enough evolution points to repair instantly, then Zian accepted it. You can't let that low-level and high-priced reconnaissance ship run away just because you want to kill this starship. Too uneconomical. In fact, the opponent really has no evolution value. despair, fear, and unwillingness. The cockpit glass was broken. Dozens of high-explosive warheads from the secondary guns tore apart all living creatures and objects in the cockpit. Another dozen points of evolution points were recorded. Zian smiled so hard that his eyes narrowed. Seeing that the two biological starships were about to run away, they increased their power again and rushed towards the cannonballs. The shells struck the light blue energy shield, causing circles of light blue ripples. The energy value of the energy shield is also decreasing. After enduring the attack for so long, the energy value still remains at 50%. And the recovery speed is very fast. This is the outstanding quality of Red and the power of the Space Shield series energy shields of Holy Armor Company. Caravan. The dumbfounded faces looked at the brilliant ship like a tiger among a flock of sheep, and they were so shocked that they could not speak for a long time. This is hallucinating? I didn't wake up? If there is nothing wrong with my eyes. What I see now should be a reconnaissance ship chasing an enemy fleet led by a frigate to kill? No. It's a violent beating. Violent. Just a few rounds. The captain of the frigate was blown up on the spot. 2 rounds. Dry explode a mid-level reconnaissance ship. And the reason why it takes 2 rounds is because the opponent used an evolution value to repair it urgently. Now, he chased the remaining 2 biological starships and beat them up. Just a few breaths. That is 1 round of effort. The low-level biological reconnaissance ship was directly destroyed in 1 round. The Brilliance turned around and committed suicide towards the advanced biological reconnaissance ship that finally used its dual-engine tail flames to reach maximum speed. Speaking of which, doesn't it mean we don't have a share anymore? Suddenly, a slightly hesitant voice asked. Everyone, including the assault ship captain, suddenly realized something and all gasped. 0, asking for flowers. Damn it. Evolution value. I asked why this brilliant ship is so brave. It turns out that it is for the purpose of evolution. Evolution value. My starship only needs the last few evolution points to evolve into a frigate. No, you have just upgraded to a frigate when you have just reached level 7 reconnaissance ship? Isn't it a bit too early? You will suffer a lot in the future, and the size of the frigate will be greatly restricted. I don't even dare to think about the 8th level or even the 9th level reconnaissance ship. It took a long time to gather the 7th level reconnaissance ship. Let's forget it. Let's get to the frigate as soon as possible. Evolution value. Hiss, wait a minute. The brilliant ship, the brilliant ship. Damn it, could this brilliant ship be the same brilliant ship? A sentence that wakes up the dreamer. In the communicator, the sound of air conditioning sounded one after another. Then he raised his head and stared. The Brilliance sailed at lightning speed and easily caught up with the high-level reconnaissance ship that had fled far away. 0, and easily, just 1 round. Flash sail. See here. Everyone suddenly understood. It must be. It must be. It's definitely him. It's definitely the shining name of the unprecedented #1 pick in the country. I heard that Zian came to our China Academy, and now I see. Awesome. The brilliant account is awesome. Zian is awesome. Wait a minute, we have no meat to eat from the biological starships, but the bones and dregs of these mechanical starships can't be wasted. Yes, as long as you don't blow up too many areas, you can still sell it for a lot of money. Let's go, come on. A bunch of interstellar creatures. Like a pack of hungry wolves. He frantically attacked the mechanical starships that were running away, their courage frightened by the brilliance. I can't get the evolution value. Then get some mechanical starship parts and sell them for money. It's better than not getting anything at all. Here. Zian caught up with and killed the last advanced biological reconnaissance ship. My mood couldn't be better. Enough is enough. Enough for level 7, but Fuyu didn't think about it. All I can say is that it's just right. You may have to temporarily use about 5 or 6 points from the 100 evolution points you signed up for. But this is all innocuous. In the communicator, their words of exclamation and excitement were heard. Zian naturally heard it. There is nothing to hide. Once you know it, you will know it. Now is not the time to think about that. He didn't even look at the remaining mechanical starships. Driving the brilliance. I happily started searching. Evolution value. Wealth value, aren't they all here? The cash that happens to be earned can also make up for the savings that have become increasingly scarce recently. Otherwise, Zian would really worry that one day he would not have enough money to buy shells and fuel. Now Zian uses good shells and good fuel. Adieu. I happily started my long-awaited search. The Tainan star system is also a very prosperous star system. The searched parts were sold for more than 1 million yuan. Gained 112 wealth points. Not too much, but not too little either. At the same time, it also fully reflects the benefits of the limit length, width, and height of 79.9 meters. It's no problem to fit all these things. There is no need to ask others to help install it. Su Zhuangyuan, see you next time. Su Zhuangyuan, let's say goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye. This time I can see Su Zhuangyuan beating up the pirate group. I just want to say, you are truly worthy of being a brilliant evildoer. You are truly worthy of being the unprecedented national champion. There is no one who is worthy of a great name. It is really amazing, and I will brag about it in the future. Compared with the lifelessness of the previous 2 days. Now there is as much excitement as there is in the communicator. Zian responded with a smile, and then the brilliant ship swung its bow, left the port, and plunged straight into the deep space. This voyage. Zian felt quite satisfied. More than $1 million in extra money, and the evolution value enough to evolve to the 7th level of the brilliant. This trip was worth it. On the way back, 653 is going to be much faster. Hurry up with all your strength, and in just 1.5 days, the Shenzhou star system has grown. Before going back, by the way, on the nearest moon, go to replenish fuel and ammunition. 30 to 40 light-years back and forth, the fuel is almost exhausted. I didn't have any money before, through. The superluminal engine uses the worst dihydropolymer, and the pulse jump engine uses the worst tritium mixture. Now I have money. Of course, you have to feed the engine with good food. Good fuel not only has a higher combustion rate, but also can store more fuel in the fuel tank. And the loss to the engine will be greatly reduced. Starships also have wear and tear, and the loss is not small, and they need to be maintained every once in a while. Dihydro, directly on the dihydrogel. Still not the best, but not bad either. Tritium, too, goes directly onto aerogels. Ammunition goes without saying. It must be a variety of warheads produced by large groups and companies, as well as base drive fuel. Although it will be more expensive. But it is more stable, and it will not lead to duds, and so on if it launches more. There will be no situation where the power is unstable, sometimes big and sometimes small. Buy. The total cost is 1,800 yuan. Well. Alright. In this day and age, fuel or something. It is everywhere in the universe. Substances such as hydrogen and tritium are the most numerous areas in the universe. It's like oil in the 21st century, if there were as many as water. 98 gasoline, if you sell it for a dime a liter, you think it's too expensive. He returned to the lodging star by driving the fully fueled and ammunition of the brilliant. Haven't really entered the lodging star yet. It can be seen that today's accommodation stars are much more lively. All kinds of starships come and go. Mostly reconnaissance ships, followed by frigates, and finally assault ships. There were very few destroyers, and none of the cruisers came in or out. Not to mention battleships and deep space ships, from the detection radar point of view. These scout ships. Most of them are intermediate biological reconnaissance ships. There are only a small number of low-level biological reconnaissance ships. As for the high-level reconnaissance ships, at least none of the starships that came in and out were seen. Not surprisingly, these are all freshmen. This is normal. Shenzhou University, as one of the top universities, how can ordinary people get in? For example, those low-level biological reconnaissance ships are basically shining stars and future stars. Although the level is slightly lower, but the combat effectiveness is high. And the Star Wars level of these captains has to keep up, otherwise they won't be able to get in. Such as Chang Xiaokong. After a few glances, I didn't pay any more attention. He still has to rush back to evolve the brilliance to the 7th level. However, he thought so, but the brilliant number, unlike any other style on the market, still attracted the attention of many students. Huh? What starship is this? What brand is this? Why haven't I seen it before? Hey, classmate, what brand and model is your starship? The maximum length, width and height of a reconnaissance ship. I guess your starship is not cheap, right? I pay attention to starships every day, and I can be sure that there is absolutely no one of this style. Moreover, the keel, hull, etc. all look familiar. So classmate, this starship of yours cannot be purely evolved, right? The curious voices of these students rang out from the communicator. Zian had no choice but to reply, well, yes, it evolved from Na. Immediately, there was an exclamation in the communicator. Damn it, you're awesome, classmate. Pure evolution, dude has courage. Like me, I don't dare to evolve purely. If pure evolution fails, my whole life will be useless. Yes, after that, the evolution is useless, and there is still room for redemption. It was useless at the beginning. Even if the enemy tries to kill you, you can't kill it, and there is no evolution value. TSK. Which department is your classmate from? These freshmen are very enthusiastic. Zian couldn't laugh or cry. This group of students is really too enthusiastic. It seems to be full of curiosity about everything. What is there to be curious about a purely evolved starship? After a few casual sentences, he drove hurriedly to Nia FIFA. Huh? Classmate, where are you going? F***K, classmate, you are not a freshman? No, how can you live on a private floating island? This shit is outrageous. I thought it was a freshman of the same class. Seeing this novel starship flying straight into a floating island in the sky, it has not been blocked by the activated blue energy shield. Everyone immediately understood. I thought it was a new student, but it turned out to be an old student. Maybe it's the kind of veteran who binds twice and 3 times. Who knows? Soon the old man explained. Wow. Elementary school brothers and primary school girls, I am not an old student, just like you, I am also a freshman. A freshman too? Impossible. Absolutely impossible. How can a freshman live on a private floating island? Those who have money can't live there. Hee, there is nothing impossible. He is Zian. There is no Zian in the country, first-rank evolutionist Zian. Hiss. He is Zian? Then, that is the legendary number 1? F***K, new students can live on the floating island, envious to the point of explosion. It is indeed the unprecedented number 1 in the country. Yeah, oh, don't talk about you guys and girls, we old students are as envious as you are twisted. Zian's big name. The day before the official start of school. Instantly spread throughout the school. I won't talk about the previous ones. Follow the well-informed old students to explain. Private floating island, popular space armor. 3 free courses. Starter set. Especially the last 3 cruiser escort times and a full 5,000 points. Not to mention the new students, even the old students, their expressions are distorted and their walls are separated with envy. 5,000 points. Most freshmen enroll, only 50 points. What a difference of 1,000 times. Envious, beautiful to bursting. But Immediately after another news came out. The envy of the bursting new students boiled instantly. Without him. Shenzhou Academy. Pay attention to a strong man, at the same time, pay attention to fairness and justice. Okay, don't you envy others? Want to be treated like someone else? Can you go for the challenge? As long as you go to the challenge and win, then all these benefits will be yours. As for whether Zian can defend, the school doesn't care at all. Treated you so well. You can't hold on to yourself, who is to blame? That can only show that you are not talented enough. It can only show that you are not worthy of the treatment given by the school. Of course. This is for new students only. Only unconvinced freshmen have the opportunity to challenge. And everyone has only one chance to challenge 4.3. And the important thing is coming. You have to defeat Zian first, and you want to get the Zian treatment. Then you can't challenge in vain. Since we pay attention to fairness and justice, if you win, you can get the treatment of others, so why don't you pay anything if you lose? Dream. You have to pay what is equal. As for what it is, I will discuss it with Zian. People can challenge if they agree, and you can't force the challenge if they don't agree. In order to avoid war avoidance, the school will also have arbitration. Arbitration results show that if the challenger takes out the bet, the school considers it equal. Then, Zian can't refuse. For a while. A small number of freshmen who have confidence in themselves are all like chicken blood. Getting ready for the official start of school tomorrow. Challenge Zian. Bright Island. Zian knew nothing about all this. He is fully preparing for the evolution of the brilliant. 6 to 7 is a hurdle, and crossed this hurdle. Well, from the frigate. It is only one step away in the true sense, no matter which world or era. There will always be geniuses and ordinary people. The same is true for starship evolution. As everyone knows, starships can only evolve to the next level when they enter the advanced stage. But in fact, what is said here is that as long as you enter the advanced stage, you can evolve to the next level at any time. For example, the brilliant number. The brilliant number is currently at level 6, so that's definitely not possible. But as long as you evolve to level 7, you can evolve into a frigate at any time. You don't have to wait until level 8 or even level 9 to evolve. Then comes the difference between genius and ordinary people, or between having dreams and salted fish. The vast majority of biological captains are mediocre in strength and talent. Under normal circumstances, you will choose level 7 to evolve to the next stage. The reason for this choice. 1. The evolution value needs too much. In the previous evolution, it was extremely difficult to collect the evolution value. Naturally, it was possible to evolve as early as possible. Second, biological energy is too difficult to cultivate. The full value of a 6th rank fighter is 450 bioenergy. But the full value of a 7th rank fighter becomes 550. The full value of an 8th rank fighter is 670. So much bioenergy. It is not something that can be cultivated in a day or two. Third, in the eyes of ordinary people, no matter how powerful their reconnaissance ships are, they cannot defeat a frigate. Of course, this is only in the eyes of ordinary people. With that evolution value, wouldn't it be good to directly evolve to the next level? Combine various, in the universe, whether it is the human race or other races. Ordinary biological captain. The vast majority will choose to evolve to the next level at the 7th level. Tier 7 reconnaissance ship evolves into a frigate. The 7th tier frigate evolves into an assault ship. This kind of meaning. And those who are a bit dreamy, or some little geniuses. You will choose to reach the 8th level, and then you will evolve to the next level if you feel it is no longer necessary. Only the truly top geniuses would consider evolving to the 5th level. Wait until the 9th level, and then evolve to the next level. The higher the level of evolution, maybe it won't bring much change in terms of combat effectiveness. 18.2. The changes that living things can bring are too great. Let's put it that way. The vast majority of people reach the 7th level of full bioenergy, which is 550 points, and then break through to become a warrior, and a starship evolves into a frigate. Then 550 points of bioenergy will definitely not be able to support you in evolving your starship to its extreme length, width, and height, and the duration of controlling the starship battle will be greatly reduced. The full value of the 9th level is 810. There is a gap of 260 bioenergy points between them. This is definitely not a small amount. The ability to continue combat is not at the same level at all. And it has enough support to evolve your starship to the ultimate length, width, and height of a frigate. And the benefits of extreme length, width, and height. No need to go into details. There are so many benefits. A more powerful engine can be installed. More and larger cannons can be installed, can carry more ammunition and fuel. Can use thicker armor. The fighting time is longer than yours. No matter how bad I am, I won't be worse than you. Just tell me who is stronger. And Zian. His ultimate goal is not the 8th level, not the 9th level. 2. Peak warrior rank. Very few people know, or even very few people know. Actually. Above beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. There is another peak. The pinnacle of the 10th grade warrior. The pinnacle of the 10th level reconnaissance ship. The reason why so few people know, it's because very few people pay attention to this. Top geniuses basically only focus on the 9th level. Ordinary people. It is enough to pay attention to the 7th and 8th ranks, and the 9th rank does not bring attention. It really comes from reaching the peak of the 10th level, which slows down the pace of growth itself to the 8th level, and then to the 9th level. In fact, they have more training time and a lot more evolution points than ordinary people. When you were at Tier 9, others might already be Tier 2 or Tier 3 frigates. Going up to the 10th level, I am afraid that everyone will already be a mid-level frigate. Too slow. Not that special kind of guy, or not that kind of super invincible genius. Such as Zian. No one will evolve their starship to the 10th level. Zian. That must be the 10th level, okay? Bioenergy he didn't need to worry about at all. As long as the wealth value is sufficient, creatures can have as much as they want. All he lacks is evolution value. They are all systematic men. Still have a dream? The full value of the 9th grade is 810. The full value of 10 products is 970. That is to say, wait until he evolves the brilliance into a frigate. He can drive a frigate with extreme length, width, and height. It will last longer than anyone else. Of course, these are things to consider later. What's more, the evolution value has not yet been determined. Now, evolving to level 7 is more important. Early the next morning, Zian, who didn't sleep all night, was in high spirits. At this time, the brilliance was still evolving its keel on its own. The metal materials that need to be added have already been added. It only needs to wait for the keel of the brightness to completely absorb its essence and expel the impurities to complete the evolution. This process will last more than 3 hours. I just happened to come over to attend the opening ceremony. At the same time, I happened to come over to see the principal of Shenzhou University, one of the most powerful members of the Earth Federation. Star Destroyer Captain. Within the Earth Federation, Star Destroyers are already the most powerful existence. Only outside the Earth Federation, there are terrifying and powerful men who can surpass the captain of a Star Destroyer. Accommodation Star, on the huge square of the super-large floating city in the main building of Shenzhou Academy. All new students who enter the school stand upright. A rough estimate is that there are at least 100,000 people. After all, it is for the entire Earth Federation. This person is actually nothing. The total number of teachers and students in the school exceeds 700,000. Zian. At this time, he was standing on the side of the evolution division. Including Zian, there are only 9 students in this class of Shenzhou Academy. The looks from the classmates around me are so weird and weird. I want to laugh, but dare not laugh. But with deep doubts. Obviously they are very confused about one thing. How could this national champion go to the evolutionary division? Yes, I know that he still has the status of a first-grade evolutionist and is a member of the Evolutionary Association. But Shenzhou Academy, famous for its Star Wars series, joins the Evolutionist series. What can be learned? Don't understand. I really don't understand what this top pick is thinking. Don't talk about other people. It's the other 8 freshmen from the evolution department. They all looked at Zian with strange expressions. In fact, even if they had the slightest possibility, they would not choose the evolution division. About 10 minutes passed. An old man with white beard and hair but good spirits finally arrived. He looks very old, but he is walking like a dragon. From a distance, you can feel the breath of him coming towards your face. Zian pupil shrinks. A god of war level warrior. It is said that this kind of strong man, it can already physically fly into the air, and can run rampant in the universe without the need for space armor. You can even blow up assault ships and destroyers with just one punch. Can imagine. How powerful is such a powerful starship? Star Destroyer, Star Destroyer. This name? But it's not just a name. Destroying stars means annihilating a planet directly. One shell, blow up a planet. How terrifying, how powerful. Zian's eyes were full of yearning. Such a strong man. Eternal life away. Only one step away. In addition to the old man, other vice presidents, department deans, and tutors followed closely behind. Zian's mentor, Zhan Wushuang, who is obsessed with evolving his own talents, is also among them. Talk about it. My mentor is also perfect. After accepting her as a mentor, these days she has been studying the evolution of starships every day. Hashtag. Sometimes even turn around and ask Zian for advice. Simply outrageous. I'm just a bad guy, so I really don't have that talent. Some questions gave Zian a headache. Fortunately, she has fulfilled her duty as a Star Wars mentor. If Zian doesn't understand anything about Star Wars, ask her and she will reply immediately. And answered very carefully. Zian benefited a lot. My name is Gu Qingzhan, the principal of Shenzhou Academy. Principal Gu Qingzhan swept his eyes across the audience. The originally noisy square quickly became quiet. Gu Qingzhan's eyes showed a trace of satisfaction, and he nodded. Today, on behalf of all the teachers at China Academy, I welcome you to join us. 117. I believe you all know the study rules of our school. Especially the points system. I believe everyone is very clear about it. Here, you can have no money, but you can't have no points. How do you want points? Only fight. There was a pause. His sharp eyes like falcons suddenly looked towards Zian. A smile appeared on his face. Said, I received the message. Yesterday, many freshmen expressed their dissatisfaction with the high treatment given to classmate Zian by the school. It doesn't matter. What our Chinese university values is fairness and justice and respecting the strong. Since you are not convinced, you can challenge classmate Zian. You win, then all the benefits that classmate Zian has now belong to you. Of course, we don't like empty-handed wolves. Everyone has only one chance to challenge, and they must put up a bet of equal value, or a bet approved by classmate Zian, as the challenge bet. You win, it's all yours. If you lose, then all your things belong to classmate Zian. Aren't you unconvinced? Then challenge. The words fell. There were 100,000 new students in the room, as well as the teachers and vice principals. There are also old students watching the fun. One by one, He immediately turned his head and focused all his attention on Zian. Zian was startled. He looked deeply at the old principal, who was smiling at him on the stage. Could it be? This old principal is also his nephew, or his senior brother, or uncle? Tr. Why did you give me such a big gift? If there is no such relationship. That is, there are so many good people in this world, I dare not say anything else. Zian admitted it. As a freshman, I should be invincible. If you can't do this, you deserve to be taken away. When the eyes came together, Zian behaved quite calmly. He wished that someone would challenge him soon. But it's obviously not possible now. There is a trace of hesitation hidden behind the scorching eyes. Want to challenge Zian? First, they have to put up something of equal value as collateral. Otherwise, why would others accept your challenge? Just this one, 99.99% of the people were eliminated. Zian was not in a hurry anyway. It's good to have someone challenge you. It doesn't matter if no one challenges you. On stage, Principal Gu Qingzhan couldn't help but nodded when he saw that Zian was always calm. He withdrew his gaze, looked at the audience, and continued in a deep voice, in China University, competition will always exist. And only through competition and constant competition can you truly grow. A true dragon can never emerge from a pool of stagnant water, only the rivers and the sea are the places where real dragons emerge. So, every time a new student enters the school will reset a new freshman ranking. At the beginning of the rankings, they will be ranked at will. You need to go to the ring and challenge each other on your own. And every 6 months, there will be a settlement. Those at the top of the rankings will receive a lot of rewards. For example, if you rank first on the ranking list, you will get 200 points. Second place, 1,000 points, third place, 500 points. So, don't think that the points given out by the school are few. If you want enough points, then work hard yourself. I announce that the freshman rankings are officially open. Today's freshman school meeting is over here, everyone should leave. After Gu Qingzhan finished speaking, he led a group of teachers and Shai ran away. Only a group of classmates were left who instantly became lively. At the same time, many people looked towards Zian. His eyes were gleaming with excitement. But at the same time, there was a hint of hesitation. After all, if you want to challenge Zian, if you fail, the price will be quite high. Zian didn't expect to receive a challenge now. Besides, now that he has received the challenge, he can't challenge it. The brilliance is still evolving. Thinking of this, I don't want to wait too long. Turn around and walk to the side. Get on the Audi Star Shuttle and start. A buzz sound. The Star Shuttle flew towards the bright island in the sky. Freshman rankings. Zian is naturally also moving. The first place has 2,000 points, so it is impossible not to move, but he was in no hurry. It is settled once every half a year. Return to Brilliant Island. Then he plunged into the evolution of the brilliance. After the last teaching from Master. In fact, Zian is certain that he can evolve 1 or 2 parts with perfect quality. If we verify it in a systematic evolutionary simulation, this probability can be increased to 100%. But that's just ordinary, unimportant parts that can evolve to pink perfection quality. Zian still doesn't have much confidence in the main components. Just evolve some unimportant parts to pink perfection. Seriously. It's really not necessary. First of all, it will directly lead to the disappearance of the overall quality characteristics of the brilliant number. Because the excellent overall quality of red is based on the excellent quality of even one screw. It can't be lower, and it can't be higher either. If it is higher, it will not be of excellent overall red quality. This is like that kind of online game. Suits with the same attributes and level will have suit effects when you wear them, but no matter which one of them you replace. No matter if this piece of equipment is more powerful, the said attributes will disappear immediately. Then it's not a suit. The same is true for the overall quality characteristics of the starship. In order to evolve a few unimportant parts to perfect quality, the overall characteristics of the brilliance were lost. Any fool knows how to choose. Unless Zian is sure to evolve the main guns, secondary guns, and engines to perfect quality, he will basically just evolve directly according to the current situation, so-called translational evolution. It is to ensure that the quality of the starships is exactly the same evolution. Not high, not low. This is translational evolution. And the red reconnaissance ship of excellent quality has evolved through translation. There is no possibility for Zian to make any mistakes. Time. Just spend it slowly like this. Every day. Zian is all about evolving starships and then learning. Classes have started, but Zian hasn't been there yet. The main thing is starship evolution. He has to keep an eye on it all the time. Fortunately, after purchasing this course, you can learn through the optical brain watch. The teacher lectures in the classroom. Then the optical brain watch can be watched in real time. Of course, this kind of learning method is definitely not good if no one is present. But the impact will not be great. At least Zian did learn a lot. After the systematic study has really started. Only then did Zian realize how narrow his previous cognition was. A lot of knowledge points, a lot of Star Wars skills. In fact, they can all be used. It will even teach you how to use the environment of the current starry sky area to fight against the enemy. How to gain greater advantage. Various novel combat methods aroused great interest of Zian. For example, one of the methods of combat is mentioned. When fighting an enemy on a massive planet, it can be used to concentrate on attacking the opponent's gravity control system. And once the gravity control system on the enemy starship fails, anti-gravity technology disappears. Then the bigger the starship of the opponent, the easier it is to break through the Roche limit and be directly torn into pieces by the terrifying gravity of the massive planet. The teacher even pointed out that this combat method has been verified on the battlefield for many years, and it is real and useful. I don't know anything else. Anyway, Zian immediately made a decision. Immediately changed the evolution plan temporarily. Buy a piece of core armor to protect the gravity control system on the canny. Joke. In the universe, gravity is extremely terrifying. It is only because humans have mastered the anti-gravity technology that starships can fly arbitrarily on every planet. Even spacesuits are equipped with small anti-gravity systems. Unimaginable. Once the brilliance encounters that kind of scene, how should it be handled? Zian thought a lot. Perhaps there is only one way to deal with it. Instantly repair the gravity control system with a lot of evolution points. Otherwise, once it encounters that kind of supermassive planet, the brilliant will definitely break through the Roche limit and be torn into pieces. A few days of study down, Zian really learned a lot of useful Star Wars knowledge and skills. Even just yesterday, Zian deliberately entered a Star Wars simulation again to try. Turn out. Take advantage of these acquired combat knowledge and skills. Then cooperate with the teaching system. And his own Star Wars strength. For the first time, there was a scene where they were not killed as soon as they entered. And when the one-year simulation ends, Zian has already relied on the 6th order brilliant number. Killed a tier 6 frigate of the Inhumans. What's more, the other party is still the one with blue rare quality for most of its parts, and the kind that has reached the blue rare quality rating as a whole. Just learned these. Zian's battle. Finally, it is no longer Yaluzi. Bring a subprofessional taste. No longer relying entirely on the experience gained from fighting. Know how to use the space environment and terrain to fight. That's good. Even know how to identify the Achilles heel of the enemy's starship, how to attack the enemy's Achilles heel, etc. Just a few days of study, the promotion of Zian is too big. Come to school to study. Instead of relying on the existence of a system, the decision to be a free and unrestrained star hunter. Zian thinks. You did it really well. It was the 6th day of the evolution of the brilliant. The day before all evolutions are about to be completed. Challenge against Zian. It's finally here. And the first one to come to challenge. She was an unorthodox human girl. A little round face with baby fat, cute cat human girl everywhere. Although the girl looks quite cute, but that figure is a bit too mature. And the personality and appearance are completely opposite. Unlike Jo with her lovely looks. Her character is that very arrogant type. But she does have the capital of arrogance. Because in just a few days, she goes around challenging. Now, ranked number 1 on the freshman ranking list. Today, finally couldn't hold back. Come to challenge Zian, outside the bright island. Hundreds of students were waiting outside. There are new students and old students. All came to watch the fun. They just want to see it. Zian, the national champion, and the current number 1 freshman, who is weaker and who is stronger. They are all waiting quietly. Because without Zian's permission, they can't get in. Can only wait outside. Soon, the figure of Zian appeared. Zian drove the star shuttle, and the doors of the star shuttle were all open. Just like this, the two sides looked at each other through the energy shield. Zian also looked at the other party. Those two Snow White cat ears just wanted to pinch them. And the Snow White and Snow White cat tail behind her. I really want to pull it to see how the other party reacts. As if sensing the malicious intent in Zian's gaze, the other party's big eyes stared fiercely at Zian. Zian coughed lightly and touched his nose. Said, "You want to challenge me, what about your chips?" Zian asked straight to the point. Meow Xiaomi's baby fat face is full of seriousness. When Yan said, "I naturally brought my chips," flipping his little hand, he took out an alloy box out of nowhere. Said in a deep voice, "Inside this is a cat star stone of our cat human race, weighing 7 grams per day. I will use this cat star stone as a bargaining chip to challenge you. I think it should be enough?" Zian's eyes froze all of a sudden. There was also a little breathing sound around. Cat star rock. A kind of ore specially produced by the mother star of the cat human race. It is extremely rare and precious. Back then, the cat human race was fully invaded by a certain race, and 720 was almost wiped out. The human race at that time stood up and threw an olive branch to the cat human race. Facing the catastrophe of genocide, the cat human race immediately took refuge in the human race. The human race took action, and the cat human race was able to survive. The reason why they did it to the cat human race in the first place. It is to go to the cat star stone of the cat people. Cat star stone is an extremely precious treasure of heaven and earth. And it is used for starship evolution. The purpose is to increase the rigidity of parts. It is a kind of high-level evolution of starship, a kind of treasure of heaven and earth that can be used. The brilliant is currently unavailable. But it will definitely come in handy in the future. And the cat star stone weighing 377 grams in front of him. If you use cosmic currency to convert, it is absolutely not a problem to sell 500 million universe coins. Now, it was used by Meow Xiaomi as a challenge chip. I don't know whether it should be said that she has absolute confidence in her own strength, or should it be said that she is a prodigal? Zian has absolute self-confidence regardless of whether Meow Xiaomi is a prodigal. He just knows. There is absolutely no reason to extrapolate the cat star stone sent here. Without even thinking about it, he nodded without hesitation and said, "Yes. That's enough." Meow Xiaomi nodded lightly and said, "As a classmate, I have to remind you. My starship is currently level 7. Actually, I was recruited because of special admissions. But there were some problems at that time, which resulted in not participating in the special recruitment examination. As far as I know, your brilliant number is only at the 6th level right now? Oh, by the way, the overall quality of my starship has reached red excellence. So, are you sure to accept my challenge? As a classmate. Miao Xiaomi thinks it's better to remind Su Zian. After all, they are classmates, not mortal enemies. The reason why she wants to challenge Su Zian. 5,000 points is indeed part of the reason, but not the absolute reason. Points, she can earn them herself. The main reason for challenging Su Zian is to be the real number one among freshmen. She has already made plans. Wait until the challenge to Su Zian is over. After, just one by one, to challenge those special students. Those special recruits have been training ministers individually since they were specially recruited. Had no contact with them. Since you want to take the well-deserved first place for freshmen, that would definitely defeat those special recruits. And now, if Su Zian feels that he can't beat himself, throw in the towel. She turned away. That kind of people. She is not worthy to be her opponent. Su Zian said with a smile, well, good. The overall red and excellent Tier 7 reconnaissance ship is amazing, I admire it. Then tomorrow? Challenge tomorrow, you choose the location and time. Miao Xiaomi's pupils shrank. The corners of the delicate and lovely mouth showed a proud arc, and he nodded and said, you didn't disappoint me. Okay, then tomorrow, at noon tomorrow. The location is to go to the planet of the Star Wars system, where there are battlefields and sufficient protection measures. You can let go of the fight, don't worry too much. Su Zian still smiled and nodded, no problem. Tomorrow at 12 noon, be there on time. Miao Xiaomi stopped talking nonsense. Driving the star shuttle, he turned and left directly. Seeing that there was no excitement today, the rest of the students also glanced enviously at the Cancan Island, and left one after another with envy. Wait until they leave. Aka, Su Zian chuckled. Good man. Sure enough, the star in the 21st century was right. When you are strong enough, you will be surrounded by good people. Look. Escort some time ago. The pirates didn't run away, but waited for themselves. $7 + 1. When the school started, the headmaster personally announced that anyone can challenge himself, but he must come up with enough chips. Isn't this the same as sending materials and resources to yourself? It made Su Zian wonder for a while whether the principal was also his nephew or something. Nice guy +2. Today, as expected, someone really fell for it. And also took out the extremely precious cat star stone, which is the kind with 37 spikes. It is worth at least 500 million, and it is the kind that has a price, but no market. #7x + 3. Look, that star was right. Unfortunately, after this cat star stone is obtained, it cannot be sold for money in exchange for wealth value. Because if you sell it, don't even think about buying it back at the original price. Wealth value. Now I don't have any shortage for the time being, or I can say that I'm quite rich. But cat star rock. If you sell it, it will be difficult to get it next time. Oh, right. If you beat the cat Xiaomi tomorrow, is it his own name that will be the first in the airborne freshman list? Then the students who want to be in the rankings are forced to challenge themselves. It saves the trouble of going to challenge one by one and winning the first place. This little Miao, there is one thing to say, is really good. Abba. Just go all out. To show respect. The current number 1 freshman, Mimi, challenged Su Zian with a 377-gram cat star stone. Su Zian accepts the challenge, and tomorrow he will face-to-face on the battlefield of Star Wars planets. It spread throughout the entire Shenzhou Academy with the momentum of a prairie fire. Today's Shenzhou Academy, if it is said that the most popular ones are Suan and Miao Xiaomi, without a doubt. Miao Xiaomi's strength, after 6 days of continuous combat, defeated dozens of freshmen and established her first position as a novice. Su Zian, who is known as an unprecedented top scorer in the college entrance examination, undoubtedly also attracted everyone's attention. Now the two can be said to be sparks hitting the earth. In fact, there are different opinions on who is stronger and who is weaker. Although intellectually, it is believed that Su Zian must be stronger. After all, The strength of the national champion lies here. But after all, no one saw Zian make a move with their own eyes. What's more, it has been a few months since the college entrance examination. The gap between geniuses is not particularly large. Maybe in the past few months, the geniuses behind have caught up with things that are not necessarily certain. As for the special admissions, has never shown up until now. According to the grapevine, it is said that they are following the teachers from the special recruitment camp to hunt and kill pirates everywhere. On the contrary, it is not that famous. It was just light the next day. There are countless starships flying to Star Wars. Eat melons and watch plays. Let's see if this Meow Xiaomi is stronger. Or the national champion is not in vain. 11 o'clock at noon. Zian finally set off on the brilliant. The brilliant can't see any changes from the outside. Only Captain Zian knows. Reached the 7th order, brilliant number. How strong is it? Smile lightly. Accelerate suddenly. Fly towards the Star Wars planet. 11:55 in the afternoon. Today's Star Wars star is extraordinarily lively. 100,000 hearts, at least a third of them came. There are also some old students who came to watch the fun. Almost all kinds of scout ships surrounded the battlefield of Star Wars. The battlefield of Star Wars is already very vast, but facing tens of thousands of starships, it is still not big enough. But 1v1 battles are absolutely enough. In the middle of the battlefield, Meow Xiaomi's Meow Meow is quietly suspended in the air, waiting for the appearance of the brilliant. Everyone was curiously discussing who has a higher winning percentage today. I think it should be the brilliant. After all, Zian is the real number one in the country. What about the number one scholar in the country? It is said that when he first entered school, his starship was still at the 6th rank. But Zian is undoubtedly stronger. Zian and Meow Xiaomi are both top-notch geniuses. Perhaps Zian is indeed better than Meow Xiaomi, but Meow Xiaomi's starship is already at the 7th level, while Zian's is only at the 6th level, which makes up for his strength. There is a huge gap in the competition, so it's really hard to say who will win and who will lose. This is reasonable, but I still support Zian. I am oppressed by a girl named Meow Xiaomi, who is still an unorthodox human race. I am not happy. No, this classmate, when you say this, why don't you first look at the 2 horns on my head? Then take a look at my gender? Well, the 2 classmates who were chatting were suddenly embarrassed, and the human classmate turned his head to look at it. The object of entry is a 2-meter-long burly with 2 horns growing on the top of the head, a burly, female, right? He does not know. Looking at the other party's unfriendly eyes, the human classmate laughed awkwardly and stopped talking about this topic. 11:58. I'm coming. TSK, I came at the last moment. It's finally here, wait. Bet. I beat Zian, 1 point. F***K off, how about points? Nima, I only have 50 points in total, and I've already spent 38 points, do you want it? There is a saying about the brilliant number, specially designed by Zian. Looking at it, there is a majestic momentum. It is not as hideous and terrifying as ordinary starships, but it has a deterrent force that cannot be ignored. You are on time. In the communicator, Meow Xiaomi's arrogant snort came over. I am over-flattered. In Meow Meow, Meow Xiaomi couldn't help but widen her beautiful eyes when she heard Zian's words. He wouldn't really think that he was praising him, would he? Don't talk nonsense. Since you agree, let's get started. After a pause, Meow Xiaomi reminded again in a haughty tone, but I still have to ask you again. Are you sure you are ready to accept my challenge? I tell you, I'm strong. And your starship is level 6, and mine is level 7. And you seem to be secondary bound? If you don't compare now, I can just pretend it didn't happen. In the brilliant number, Zian smiled and said, compare. Why not compare? Don't worry, although I'm bound twice, I'm not that bad. Wait, I will definitely do my best to show my respect for you. Hearing Zian's words, Miao Xiaomi's voice softened a little. Well, that's fine. To show respect, I will do my best later. You, go all out. You just come, I can stand it. Miao Xiaomi's tone was full of confidence. Zian's smile became even brighter. Okay, I will definitely do my best. Now that Zian has said it all, Miao Xiaomi believes that as a classmate, she has done a good job. Since Zian still has to accept the challenge. No wonder she, Miao Xiaomi, is cruel and ruthless. After a pause, she said again, that's right, I will really take action with all my strength later. But don't worry, there are teachers from the school watching the battlefield. If they find you in danger, they will rescue you as soon as possible. Zian, yeah. At this time, Miao Xiaomi finally frowned slightly. She suddenly felt there seems to be something wrong. But she couldn't seem to find what was wrong for a while. Never mind. Do not care. At this time, seeing the two of them getting ready, the battlefield teacher also drove his own starship. A cruiser arrived over the battlefield. He will be watching the whole fight between the two. Once it is discovered that a fatal crisis has occurred on any side, it will immediately come to the rescue. He is confident. A battle between two small scout ships. He can be saved easily. See, the two are ready. He pressed the communicator and said solemnly, now that everything is ready. Then get ready to fight. Follow Star Wars rules. Remember, even if you go all out, you still want to kill someone. That's just one request. Okay, let's get ready. His voice fell. The two starships flew to the edge of the circular battlefield and looked at each other directly. Battlefield number 7 is a large battlefield, enough for 2 people to perform. In Meow Meow. Meow Meow stared at the distance with her beautiful eyes, and could only see a small, bright number. A trace of determination flashed in his eyes. I, Miao Xiaomi, the daughter of the leader of the cat tribe. You must become a strong man who suppresses an era. In this way, we can truly improve the status of our cat race in the Cosmic Human Federation. Only, can we truly take revenge? So, Zian, I'm sorry. You will be the stepping stone for my little cat to become a powerful person. Miao Xiaomi clenched her fists tightly. His eyes are firm and his tone is firm. Seeing both sides arriving at positions ready for battle, finally, supervising teacher gave an order. Now that we're all ready, then I declare. The combat trial begins. Falling with his last word, Miao Xiaomi's Meow number moved instantly. Meow Meow Starship is a unique starship of the cat people. There are billions of people in the universe, and there are countless types of starships. Many races have their own unique starships. For example, Meowth Starship. The cat race's unique starship has the main feature of being more flexible and sensitive than starships of the same level. Especially the engine of the cat-human starship is a major feature in the universe. This engine may not have long endurance, but its rapid acceleration and deceleration are extremely good. The result is a unique starship of the cat people, which is extremely sensitive, extremely agile. It is an excellent choice for an assault-type starship. Therefore, cat-human starships are now selling very well in the universe. Many humans will buy cat-human starships. 0, asking for flowers. But there is no doubt about it. Miao Xiaomi's boat is specially customized by the cat people, and the technology used in it is definitely higher than the ones sold on the market. Start with the teacher's voice. Meowth's starship instantly changed from a static state to a state close to the speed of light. The terrifying rapid acceleration capability of the engine, as well as the super toughness of the starship as a whole, made most of the students present change their expressions. Such speed. I'm afraid it's difficult to hit the opponent, right? He quickly looked towards Zian. I want to see how Zian would handle this situation. Should we cover it with firepower, or rely on the starship's own defense and attack power to directly attack it? However, when everyone looked at Zian, they all saw a scene that made them stand aside. See you. Zian's brilliant account. Not even moving. It's just that the main gun and secondary gun are constantly adjusting their directions. Swish swish swish. The main gun, plus dozens of auxiliary guns, were directed at the same time. The students were shocked. Even the teacher was dumbfounded. I saw the shells of the main gun and the secondary gun all hitting the open space. Abe. There is no sign of ghosts. Missed? No, even if this thing misses, let's just say it's a little too far off. But next second, a scene appeared that shocked them all into silence. See you, the shells were heading for that open space. But the moment when the cannonball is about to hit the ground, a cat-human starship just happened to appear there. Even by zooming in on the camera, you can see into the cockpit behind. Meowth had a confused expression on his face. Obviously, when she suddenly ran here to avoid the shells. But instead, I saw that the cannonball was heading this way. That confusion. That kind of confusion. #B. At a loss. It filled her whole body and mind. At this time, she couldn't even hide anymore. All she could see was that a cannonball easily opened a hole in her energy shield. The remaining power did not diminish, and he easily opened the glass in front of his cockpit, and then the power was exhausted. She broke out in a cold sweat instantly. But she didn't wait to rejoice. Then I saw a round of secondary artillery shells. It flew in through the hole made by the main gun with extreme accuracy. Meow Xiaomi's pretty baby fat face turned pale in an instant. Zian. This is a deadly move. Am I going to die? Am I going to die like this at the hands of my classmates? Meow Xiaomi's eyes were blank. Besides, FTE. How is it done? Is it really that powerful? At the moment when I thought I was going to die, instead, Meow Xiaomi turned her attention to the brilliant horn in the distance. Scene. Want before dying. Will be Zian, will be the appearance of the bright number. Deeply remember. And at the moment when the secondary gun exploded. Rescue for the terrified teacher has just arrived. B. It's too late. Boom. The sky is colorful. Instantly filled the cockpit of Meow Xiaomi. Thank you for watching Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.